everybody for having me here. Always enjoy speaking at this again. Thank you to the club. Thank you, Tiffany, for reaching out. Like I said, always joy. Let's give Kimberly and Timberly a round of applause for putting this together. Also, a round of applause for all of you, because as they say, 80% to success is showing up, and all of you showed up, and also people online. So a round of applause for you guys too. So Tiffany asked if I wanted to share my experience with Toastmasters and how I'm able to take Toastmasters and integrate it into my career and my entrepreneurial journey. And that's one thing I find that a lot of people are missing when it comes to Toastmasters. They're not using it as a complement to their careers or their entrepreneurship. Who here is brand new to Toastmasters right now? Has no idea, never seen anything, done anything much? Okay, great. For everybody else, who here is a business owner? Aspires to become an entrepreneur or a coach or mentor? Okay, great, awesome. All right, so a little bit of my backstory. Born and raised in Edmonton, Alberta, taught to find a good job, working that job for the rest of my life. And then I became an engineer. And then 2007, 2008, downturn, oil went down. Edmonton, Alberta, like we're completely dependent on it. And the company I was with went from 120 got rich dad poor dad and says, hey, let's do this stuff. And then we decided to invest in real estate, start doing businesses, doing investing, mindset, and all that kind of stuff. Then we quickly realized that if you can't speak, all that goes through the cracks because it doesn't work. You have to be able to connect with people and build relationships. Hence, we joined Toastmasters. And fast forward today, well, I'm a business coach, real estate investor. I coach on real estate, coach on book writing. I have a podcast that's been on for 5-6 years now. Interviewed over 300 people from all over the world, spoke on big stages and whatnot. So it's something that I've always had the foresight of, hey, I want to do all this stuff. What do I need to do here in Toastmasters to get me there? Okay, I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste my content. So when I first joined Toastmasters, everything that I did had to do with what I wanted to do in the future with that in mind. So therefore, when I'm looking at my future, I was looking at, okay, I want to do speaking, I want to do events, I want to be doing videos, coaching, also book writing. In the last two, asking questions and then also embracing the virtual space came as a bonus. And I'll explain a little bit about that later. So when it comes to speaking was something I wanted to do in the future. And then I decided, okay, everything I'm going to do at Toastmasters has to do with real estate, business, mindset, or speaking, or something like that, so that I could recycle that sometime in the future. I don't know when, but I want to be able to not waste time. So that's something I think everybody should think about when it comes to your careers or the entrepreneurship. What are the speeches that you want to do in the future? Do that now so you can bank up that material. Okay? Now, we're all here doing speeches, and we're trying to hone in our skill set. But one thing we're not really seeing is the power of the stage. Okay, the instant credibility that you get when you're speaking in front of people. Okay, how many times have you seen somebody go up on stage and go, I don't know why I'm here. I have no value to add to you. I'm basically here to kill time. Thank you very much. You don't hear that. Because the moment somebody's on stage, they've been vouched for. Somebody already thinks they're credible enough to stand on stage to speak to people and have a message to share. So therefore, every opportunity you get to say yes to speaking, you say yes. Every chance you get to speak in front of a group of people, you say yes. Not only to hone in that skill set, but to get photos of you speaking. Okay, so anyways, all that stuff. Okay, so getting photos of you speaking to large groups of people. Okay, and I'm not talking about those close-up shots because you can stage that at home. I'm talking the ones at the back of the stage, front of the stage, whatever it is, so you can see the audience members. A few years ago, one of my clients who's a Toastmaster asked me, hey, should I say yes to this opportunity? I go, yes, of course. Because then you get this photo of you speaking in front of 60, 70, 80 people. Okay, somebody in the audience then asked him to speak for their class at a college group. He said yes, and he got this photo. So these two photos are now used for his website, his personal branding, and all that great stuff. For me, I say yes to speaking at different clubs, breakout sessions, Toastmasters conferences, breakout rooms, whatever it is. When people ask me, I will say yes. I get to speak with people like yourselves and also hone in that skill set, but also get photos. I've said yes so many times that when my coach asked if I wanted to speak on his stage, I go, yes. How long do you want me to speak for? 5, 10 minutes? No problem. He goes, no, you get 2 hours. 2 hours. I can't do 2 hours. He goes, why not? You do Toastmasters. Like, yeah, that's 5, 7 minutes. Okay? Not 2 hours. He goes, what do you speak on? Well, I speak on real estate, business, mindset. He goes, well, that's what I talk about. How many have you done? I've done about 20 to 30 speeches at a time. And he goes, well, take all that together, put a PowerPoint line on, and that's your 2 hour presentation. So that's how I did my very first 2 hour presentation in front of 150 business CEOs, entrepreneurs who paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars to be at this 2-day event. Okay, so bank that material, don't waste it. Fast forward to a few years later, I say yes to speaking in LA in front of 2,400 people, and then yes to Shaw Conference Center in front of 4,000 people. Each one of these presentations, I've actually practiced and did dry runs in the club before I did it for real. So you can absolutely use Toastmasters as a complementary tool for everything you do. Next is events. I want to do events. So guess what? Speech contests. You say yes to all that kind of stuff. So I hosted many speech contests for our club and also our area. I did it my way. I wanted to have a speech contest that nobody has seen before because these are the contests and themes and atmosphere that I'm going to take and to do on my own events. So there's music, there's prizes, there's games, there's opening acts and all that great stuff to bring up the energy. If you've been to one of my speech contests, you've never seen anything like that before. Then I was able to translate that into charity events and emceeing at other fundraisers. And that's something that all of you can do. Say yes to hosting or emceeing charity events. They're always looking for people to speak. So there's always great opportunity. And instantly, you're speaking to 100 people easy. Then videos. How many people here want to do videos online? Almost nobody. All right, so I had this problem. Once the video camera turns on, my mind goes blank. I stutter, I forget my stuff, and I can't do videos. So I found out what that problem was. It's called ego depletion. When you think that you have to be perfect in front of a camera. So then I was at mastermind class, and I told everybody, that's my problem. You can't help me. I'm already diagnosed. And therefore, my coach comes up to me and goes, Fong, shake my head. I'm like, oh, shoot, this is a trap. He goes, why don't you promise me to do one video a day for 365 days? I'm like, that's a lot of content. I can't do that. But before I was able to say yes or no, somebody else stood up and goes, well, why not just one a week? Sweet, I just saved 300 videos. Before I was able to act on that, 3 other people stood up and goes, if he does it, I'll do it. Like, man, now there's competition. Before anybody else said anything, somebody else pulled out their phone, went on Facebook Live and goes, hey, everybody, we're going to be doing this video challenge once a week. What do you be talking about, Fong? Shove that in my face, and now I'm committed to say something, and now I'm committed for the whole year. Okay? I was at the airport for 3 hours recording one video. 172 takes later, I was finally willing to post it. And then dawned on me, it's a table topic. Pretend I'm asking myself a question, record it, post it, ghost, and don't read any comments. So that's thousands of videos ago. Once I overcame that mindset, I was doing one video a week, 2, 3, 4, sometimes 2 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes, whatever it is. It was about 4 to 5 videos a week that I was putting out there. Each one, if I needed to, I could do it at the club, get credit at the club, and also bring up my videos in my YouTube channel. So you're doing more than one thing at once. So videos, I highly recommend all of you to jump and do at least one video a week and post it. Don't care about who's watching, don't care about the comments, don't care about any of that stuff. It would instantly allow you to break through that fear of speaking, coming up with content, and just speaking on the fly. It's a great practice mechanism, but how do you commit to it? By going on a video camera, recording yourself and goes, hey, everybody, I'm going to be speaking on this topic once a week. I'll see you on Monday. better have an episode every single Monday for the next year. Okay? If you feel that you have bonus content, great. Wednesday, great. Thursday. That's how you build your content. So then coaching is something I wanted to do. And of course, we have leadership competency and all that kind of stuff in Toastmasters. So I said yes to a lot of things. From president, from VP membership, VP ed, I've done all that stuff. Even area director, I've said yes to that. Okay. So on top of all the stuff you do in those roles, what else can you do? Well, I make sure as a VP membership, VP education, I have open one-on-one conversations with all my members to make sure I'm able to coach them along with every step of their pathways or their manuals and how does that fit into the career. Once I was area director, I made sure that every time I visited a club, I had a 5 to 7 minute speech so I could speak with different people and then also have one-on-one conversations to anybody who wanted it at those clubs to expand my ability to coach people and also give feedback. So coaching, that helps too. Now, then that led to youth leadership, which then led to speaking in front of, I think it was 200 grade 9 students at a local junior high. And then fast forward, lots of webinars and seminars and all that kind of stuff online, in which I then joint ventured with another partner. And we had an 8-9 week program on speaking, coaching with people from all over the world, helping them hone in their speaking skills, their sales, and then also the presentation. And that was lots of fun too. So when it comes to coaching, if you have that mindset at the very beginning, you could absolutely apply that throughout the entire journey. Book writing. All right. So when it comes to speaking, we know that's instant credibility. Book writing is also another tool for you to build up your credibility. Each and every one of you has a book already written. You just haven't published it yet, right? So lots of people go, well, here's the 3 main questions as to why I haven't written this book yet. And that is, who am I to write a book? Who is going to read my book? And that person over there is more successful than me. Who am I to compare? Well, I have the exact same problems, same questions to my coach, in which he then says, well, everyone has a message, therefore you can write a book. Don't focus on the people who's not going to listen to you or read your book. Focus on those people who are actually your target market. Just like when you go up on stage and speak, you don't expect everybody to pay attention. You don't expect everybody to actually listen. So why would you think the same way if you're writing a book, right? And finally, over the last 100 years, nothing new has been written, but in a different voice. Your voice hasn't been heard. Now, I could write a book that's exactly the same word for word as yours, but I may or may not be able to connect with the same people as you do. So therefore, every moment you're not writing your book, doing your speech, doing your videos, is every moment you're depriving your people, your followers from your message. So what is stopping you from doing it? It's a matter of taking action and doing it right now. So when it comes to book writing, I wrote, there are 6 here, I have 2 more that came out, and each one is a different topic, so that if I'm speaking on real estate, I have a real estate book. If I'm speaking on speaking, I have a communications book, okay? It gives you different credibility in different areas. The very first book was a book where my coach goes, do you have any problems writing a book? I'm like, of course I do. I don't have enough content. He goes, how many speeches have you done? I'm like, 20, 30. Great, pick 10, publish it. I'm like, there you go. So therefore, I'm sure lots of you already have at least 10 speeches done. Package it, publish it. Or make a whole project, find one of the projects in your pathway as a club, and you could produce and publish 1 book a year as a collaboration book project, right? Think about it, it works. That 4th book was a dare. Somebody asked me, how fast can you finish a book? Well, I don't know, a month. And he goes, show me. Okay, great. I went to level 5 pathways. There's professional speaking for 25, 30 minutes. I did that presentation, took the transcript, published it. Done. Okay. So you already have the content. You just haven't published it yet. If you do, make sure it goes to bestseller. Okay. I've also helped a lot of Toastmasters with their books, in which then they got more publicity, they got interviews, they got asked to speak on stages and podcasts. Okay? And podcasts, by the way, is another project that you could do in level 4 elective or whatever. If you're writing a book, you could pick another project, one of those team building projects, get credit for that. There's always ways to find a way to get credit in Toastmasters and also build up your own personal brand or own entrepreneurship. I know I'm out of time, so I'm going to be very quick here. Who's heard about it's not what you say, but what you ask that gets people interested? Okay, so it's the questions that you ask. Table topics. I love taking table topics impromptu. Okay, if nobody has that role, I jump in, I do it on the fly. It lets me think about questions on the fly and be sharp and be creative. That led to interviewing lots of celebrities and entrepreneurs. My podcast is over 300 episodes. Been people all over the world, from multimillionaires to business CEOs to celebrities and also Olympic champions. And then my favorite was being able to interview Jillian Michaels. And when she asked, "Hey, do you have another question?" I goes, "Definitely." Wait, one moment. And that's when my table topics master kind of mindset jumped on and came up with a question on the fly so I could ask. Okay. Then very quickly, embracing the virtual space. Once we jumped into COVID, we then jumped all into virtual space. And that's when I did all my presentations, all the speeches that I talked about before virtually. And then I said yes to all these podcasts, all these interviews, all these things online to hone that skill set. Again, practicing at Toastmasters Club, honing your skills, doing it online. You have utmost opportunity to build relationships and also honing your skill set. So again, those 7 things is what I did to take Toastmasters, implement it into my career in entrepreneurship. Okay, I'm out of time, so therefore I'm going to say this. If anybody wants to have a one-on-one with me, I'm happy to kind of walk you through the entire process as to how you take your pathways and implement it into your career or your entrepreneurship. If anybody wants to learn about books or podcasting, I'm going to be here until the last person leaves. So thank you very much for your time, and back to you.